Hey everyone, Win from the crew here. Before the video starts, I just wanted to acknowledge something. One, there's a part in this video where I mentioned Afghanistan. That part was written before the whole Afghanistan this tragedy happened, and I just wanted to let y'all know that that was a big oversight on me. I completely forgot that I had that in there. It was basically written like a month before the whole events happened. I mean, while we were filming, that's actually when the whole situation there happened. So there's gonna be a part 3 of the series, and I mentioned that we've mentioned that before in the weekly. We're gonna be doing a fan cast and rewrite, so that's definitely gonna be one of those things where I'll be addressing. I'm gonna be rewriting that part. I just wanted to let y'all know in this before the video begins, because I completely forgot that I said that when I watched the playback while editing. And also the rest of the video, I think the second half of the video is gonna be a little blurry. That was also in conjunction to what happened last week with the weekly. We're also gonna be maybe taking a break at the end of September. We have things going on and can't mention it yet. We're probably gonna say it in the weekly. We may be taking a break. It's a big maybe. We're not sure yet. So I just wanted to let people know here before you watch it. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video.
This next one is straight into it, Superman.
Okay.
But it's not like the ridiculous two-piece suit where it's like, what do you call that? The blue and the red underwear.
Like
I didn't do that. This one is kind of already established Superman. So what we already saw is Batman v Superman, or Batman and Batman v Superman, but except it's Superman, so it's kind of a switched up character. Superman, it's 2015. Clark Kent works at Daily Planet. He is exhausted. What we know so far is that Clark Kent has been alive since the 80s, but Superman has been flying around since the 1950s. So he's been around for a long time. We just don't know his origin or what time he landed on Earth.
I like that. It may given some mystery to the character that we know so well.
Like, people would think like, oh, is he a god? Is he an alien? Some shit like that. So in this universe, Superman is a myth, a god, seen as not a savior but a threat to Earth. So that's why there's a heavy military focus on this movie. The movie, a powerful creature destroys a facility and goes on a destructive spree. It's mindless and lost on its Earth. Superman has not been seen in decades. He is thought to be dead or weakened by a world-ending threat that occurred in the early 80s. In 2014, the government reveals that Superman might have been on an alien. There's a whole sequence that I kind of thought out where it's like, well, maybe they released it like, you know how the UFO tapes nowadays.
Kind of like this conspiracy of what we knew about Superman.
Officially, stuff like that. What they know so far. The government reveals that Superman might have been an alien, and they found the ship he crash landed in it. It was also thought that Superman had lived thousands and thousands of years. Superman, however, cares for none of that. He has become lost, morally damaged. Remnants of that battle still live inside him. PTSD, if you will. On his way to work one day, he can see a tall crane in the distance. This is where you kind of see his morality fall apart. He sees a crane. He doesn't know if he should react to it or not.
That is a good way to do it, and I never really thought about giving Superman like depression or something. It's something like you could make him more human, which is hard to do because he's
a ridiculous character.
No matter what, he can solve the problem. So give that guy some depression and put him on Zoloft, and then that's a good way to do it.
But later in the story, Clark meets the newest employee of the Daily Planet, and that's Lois Lane, a young reporter who broke the story about the crashed ship. She was the one who found it. Technically not found it, but she was the one who reported on it. She was the one who classified it per se. A young reporter who broke the story about the crashed ship. Lois and Clark had become close at that point, or not that point, but late. It goes on to the movie. They were sent to Afghanistan to report on that horrors of war. That's where that stupid scene in what was it, Batman v Superman? That's where that stupid scene I kind of got it from that. As they were interviewing some of the residents, Lois and Clark were attacked by terrorists at gunpoint, and Clark had to break his identity and stop the terrorists to keep Lois from harm's way. Clark.
See, that's such a good way to do that compared to Zack Snyder's. He's been in hiding. That's good.
So I had him so he's hiding, and they just kind of the terrorists just kind of breaks in. They were just like, this is kind of distasteful now because of the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
there.
wow.
Yeah. But like the terrorists kind of broke in because Lois and Clark were. They heard that Lois and Clark, or these reporters, were interviewing the residents. They broke in and they just started shooting and stuff like that. But to prevent from any of them getting hurt, he flew them out.
Because, like, in Batman vs. Superman, it's just like, oh, the cliche, not even cliche, just the Superman trait, oh, Lois screams, she gets help. Yeah. That's cool to where it's like, oh, he was hidden
he
away,
was in there.
but he cares so much. Yeah, I like that.
So he flew her out. As they were flying, Lois asked Clark to go back and save the residents. Clark says the horrors of the wars is not mine to meddle. She confided in Clark, and eventually Lois was able to convince him to go back. Cue badass scene of Clark fighting terrorists. Lois asked Clark about why he hasn't been Superman in a very long time. Later on, Lois reveals that the government had found bodies and asked Lois to keep it confidential. That's referring to the scene where she kind of broke the story. There was more into it, but they didn't want anyone to know. So this is also where I thought Man of Steel fell apart. Lois Lane apparently was given access to the whole like ship thing. So this is where I kind of wanted to deconstruct it. Kind of. And she was aware of what it was. She was aware of where it was. And she was told not to talk about it. Okay. But Clark was like, hey, we need to go find it because apparently they have my family. And they found bodies and stuff like that. So they went there. They found pods. They found suits. But like he had to activate it, so he had that little key thing. Yeah. So he had to activate it, and that's where the black suit comes in, and then the red and
So, like, go ahead and continue, and if you've got more, I literally have like one of those Injustice cards. Is like it's a Superman suit, and I feel like it's perfect for the story you're doing. Yeah,
there's a bunch of other suits in there too. Lois reveals that the government had found bodies and asked Lois to keep it confidential. Apparently, it was meant to ensure that the American people wouldn't feel as if they were in danger. Clark then asked for the location of the ship. Lois and Clark fly to the ship, and there he discovers it had been cleared out and taken by the U.S. government, but a message from his father had been left. Something about special purpose and shit like that. As he flew through Metropolis, an explosion. That's the point where he finds the body. Yeah. Something like that.
I imagine that Superman as like.
I also kind of had like a white suit in there too. It's there.
It's Godfall Superman.
You just put it right next to your face. Just do it like that.
Well, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just zoom it in. I think that would be cool. I had other suits in there. It wasn't meant to be for Superman. It was meant to be like just kind of like a war-ready suit.
Other like Kryptonian.
Yeah. So I had like black suit. I even had white suit in there. Stuff like that. There's also a point where I had two endings for this movie. One, I think that's not very convoluted, the other one was convoluted. And this one was easy. I'm just gonna read the easy one. The ending finds Clark finds his suit in the ship by unlocking the ship's armory with a key necklace thing. Lois brings the suit with her, and he wears it during a fight at the end. So the fight at the end refers to one of the bodies that they found. And I don't remember who I put in there. It was like, remember Zod, the big version of him?
Yes.
It was like that. It was just a monster, though.
Okay.
It wasn't technically Zod, but I had it codenamed Zod instead of like...
instead of what like they did with Doomsday and stuff.
Yeah.
And
So I just had him codenamed Zod. And that was like kind of this declassified thing. And an experiment codenamed Zod escaped in this infamous facility. There's also that plot line that I didn't want to mention because then it would just be more convoluted at this point. But Superman fights the monster. The alternate ending has him just wearing regular clothes, except he's like wearing like a flannel kind of shirt that's red, blue shirt on the inside, and jeans maybe, something like that. Superman tries to fly the monster out of the city and eventually gets about 100 miles away from the city in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The monster had been weakened. Superman was then knocked out. Superman eventually kills him. Superman then goes to where they had kept the monster. He searches through the area and finds the remainder of the bodies taken from the crashed ship. Tells the government, the military, to fuck off and release them. He brings them back to the crashed ship. He brings the family back to the crashed ship and put them in their pods to allow them to heal. Clark asks for the ship's autonomous AI to bring them somewhere isolated and unsearchable, and that's where Do you remember the ice?
Yeah, with Antarctica.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So that's where he flies him, or maybe even in Iceland. I mean, that's basically the ending where he says goodbye to Lois. He goes, flies with the family. The end credit scene I had was Superman is seen in a market carrying groceries. As he walks home, Wonder Woman floats down behind him and says, "Clark, I found him. I know who let the monster escape. It was Batman." And then that's the But then there's also a side story to that later on. So
I like that. So back to me. Superman is our first movie for Phase 3, our final phase at least. So Lex Luthor, again, just straight up introduced, created Doomsday. It's all out brawl. It's just straight, just them fighting.
It's like a video game.
And it happens to end up, essentially. Yeah. It leads them to Atlantis. They fight like underwater, and Aquaman teams up with Superman to take down Doomsday. I didn't have a push credit for this one. But then we go into Dr. Fate, which is essentially our Doctor Strange movie, but it's more of what we're probably going to get next year with Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. Dr. Fate finds something wrong with the multiverse. We get introduced to Shazam and Black Adam through the multiverse, but like there is the versions on this Earth. Yeah. But we get to see versions of Superman. We see Power Girl. We see Hal Jordan. We see all the other ones that we haven't seen yet in this iteration of, because they're typically they're just kind of the Earth 1 versions that we've seen in this version or these past movies. So we're getting to see like your Red Sun Superman, stuff like that. The villain, there's no one really. It is just like a completely multiverse stuff's going on. It's all because it's splitting because of Batman, though, because he tried to harness that power, and he has, but it's starting to mess up with things, or things are starting to cross. But in the end, the post-credit scene is essentially just Black Adam's on a throne, which is his throne. I can't remember of the where he lives or whatever, but the next movie is going to be Shazam, though. It's a Shazam versus Black Adam movie. The Black Adam or Shazam, they have their fight. It's all Shazam. Like, but Black Adam dies in the end because Amanda Waller wanted him dead, and the Suicide Squad helped Shazam. But it's a new iteration of the squad. We have Deathstroke, Joker, Bane, Poison Ivy, and Mr. Freeze. Who sent them, though? It was Batman. Batman's taken over the Suicide Squad now. He has essentially the villains on his side because they know something's coming. We're getting close to the end. There's 4 movies left. They know the new gods, Darkseid specifically, is coming. Justice League 2, the Red Lantern Corps sent by the new gods yet again, attacks people. We have people becoming Red Lanterns, taking like their rage, and it's them fighting the other Justice League. So yet again, but we have, and what I meant to do, I wrote it down wrong, but they stay Red Lanterns essentially, and they lead into the next movie, which is the Legion of Doom. So we have another villain movie. It's all the previous villains that I've mentioned: Joker, Bane, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, the Rogues from the Suicide Squad, all that stuff. They are like, we need to do something about these Red Lanterns, and so they just start recruiting people in the multiverse. They're like, we need your help, and they come together and stop the Red Lanterns. They go away, but in the end, Darkseid is still on his way, and so our next movie is New Gods 2, which is kind of your Infinity War where they lose. They brought everyone they could, and it still wasn't enough. They lose. So essentially they're like, we got to recruit more. And so they go back into the multiverse, but it like screws everything up. But everyone in the end comes, because all I really wrote was Crisis on Infinite Earths. We have multiple dark sides coming in from all the Earths. We have all these versions of these superheroes coming together. Essentially, did you watch that Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go movie?
Yes.
Yeah, well, the whole portal thing, stuff like that. Yeah. And we're getting just everyone, and it's like, it would put the in-game scene to shame that we get all these people. And I kind of was thinking like all the dark sides would like come into one and be like this big, massive dark side type deal. Or
I feel like they would
not
have a conflict.
Huh?
Because of the way you wrote Dark Side, I think they would have more of a conflict. It's like who gets to rule and who's more powerful.
Yeah.
So they would have a fight.
That would be, that would be good. But is the big reveal of just all these characters, and I just want that one day with DC. It was essentially my goal for this, was like seeing all these characters on the silver screen, and yay, happy ending essentially. That I didn't really have any ideas after that. Honestly, that probably would have been the end for it, because like you could start over and bring other characters. I actually did have an idea for, and it's kind of mentioned in the other rewrite, where it's just like MCU to DC like perfectly. There's this group called the Omega Men, which are like, they're literally the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just this weird ragtag. I hadn't heard of any of them until I did some research, and like,
I see what you have there, Court of Owls.
Yeah, I was gonna go through each one. And I thought that would have been cool.
I saw the animated one for that one.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool.
I love the Court of Owls. They need to do a game with them.
Yeah.
Oh, or are they doing? I think they might be the villain in the Gotham Knights. Is what the?
Don't know.
I don't know.
Haven't heard.
Do you have any other ones?
I feel like that's a bonus. So
yeah,
let's have bonus here, because I also have a couple of bonuses.
Okay. So I did a little rewrite of the MCU to DC, just straight up, and this will be quick. Like if Batman is to Iron Man, what is Hulk to DC? I'd say, for me, I said Martian Manhunter, mostly because he's green, but also like he's super strong and it just kind of works. So
he doesn't really have a limitation to his strength.
Yeah, Hulk doesn't really have like a DC counterpart for the most part. I mean, I'm sure there is, but it's not like a well-known one.
I mean, at this point, it's just Zod.
Yeah, a little.
From the CEU.
Yeah. And so from there, with your Iron Man 2, it would be Batman 2. For Thor, I said Wonder Woman, because she's like the demigod type stuff. For the next one would be your Captain America, your goody two-shoes, your good guy would be Superman. So for then a 6, which would have been Avengers, you would have your Justice League movie. Then Iron Man 3, Batman, Wonder Woman 2, Thor 2, Superman, Captain America 2. Then you'd have Guardians, which is the Omega Men, which I was looking at Omega Men. I'm like, man, James Gunn could do that. I mean, it would feel like a complete rehash, but like they literally are the Guardians. The ripoff, or the Guardians may have ripped off
their counterpart.
Yeah, sure. And then for Ant-Man, I couldn't decide if I wanted a shrinking guy like Adam, or did I want a bug person like Blue Beetle. So I kind of went
go with Adam.
Yeah, Adam would be cool, because also you could do, just to beat MCU, first Asian led there.
Yeah, or you could just do completely like, well, Adam. You know how Adam in the what is that CW show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could just have Brandon Ruth as like the kind of older Adam, and then the Asian Adam.
Oh yeah, you could.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Then Doctor Strange would be to Dr. Fate. Then you would have Omega Men 2 for Guardians 2. And then what's the next one? I wrote.
You have Robin, Nightwing.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the next MCU movie is.
I think it was Homecoming.
Yeah, okay.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes,
Thor
it was,
Ragnarok.
because that's Robin is the Spider-Man to Tony, like Spider-Man and Tony, Batman. Then we'd have Thor Ragnarok, Wonder Woman 3. Then we would have our African-American led, so Cyborg or Black Lightning. I couldn't really decide on that one.
Not Black Lightning.
Yeah, I know. The show's not good.
Cyborg is way too cool.
Yeah, but the show sucks, and Black Lightning is cool. For Civil War, I'm pretty sure that's Civil War. No. Yes.
No, Civil War was before Homecoming.
Was it? Then what did I do for that? Superman 3, duh.
Yeah.
So then Infinity War would have been Death of Superman. And then Ant-Man and Wasp, I did, since they did like a rom-com, I did Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
Okay.
Because we already had Blue Beetle for the Ant-Man or Atom.
Yeah.
So there's your rom-com type deal.
Yeah.
Then a female-led, like, overpowered superhero, I did Zatanna.
Okay.
Because...
That's magic.
So she could go up against Superman and all that. Yeah. Crisis on Infinite Earths being your like in game. That's kind of what I said earlier with mine. And then for 23, be Far From Home. You'd have Robin become Nightwing or more of the Teen Titans stuff. And then you would have the movie that was 10 years too late, where we already had like Green Arrow and Black Canary introduced, which are, I guess those are really your Black Widow and
that is.
So like Black Canary would have already been introduced, but like she's getting her movie 10 years later. So
except Green Arrow is way cooler than Hawkeye.
Yeah, that's true.
No offense, but he's done way more. He's become a mayor at one point in the stories. He's done magical shit too.
So that's the 1-for-1. I'm trying to think of like. Shang-Chi could be Adam.
Yeah.
And what else? Eternals. Oh God, I guess New Gods. Or I'm trying to. That's like the closest thing. But yeah, you have anything else?
Okay, so I got a couple.
Go for it.
Just kind of a bonus. These are kind of still work in progress. But which one would you rather have first? The kind of lighthearted, or do you want the kind of Batman?
Let's go the Batman
route. Okay, all right. So this one is kind of based off Batman Year One, so the Robert Pattinson one.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted something similar. I wanted only the aesthetic and some of the cast and set in the 90s. So not a lot of technology there. Some computer stuff. So Batman basically has to work. This Batman is all brains and detective work. Assuming that the Robert Pattinson Batman story goes the way I think it will. I'm thinking it's Batman chasing around the Riddler or whoever. This movie will hint at how metahumans came to be. It's not a big part of the story, but it very much helps align the remainder of the DCEU.
Mm-hmm.
The changes will include a storyline with Batman trying to find weaknesses for the cataloged metahumans, including Wonder Woman and Superman. At this point, he's unaware that she's a god and he's an alien. He just thinks that they're
just people with powers.
Yeah. Right. Realizing it's a bit convoluted, I would probably only have Alfred do all of that work, kind of, the way he did in at some point, the government had asked Wayne Enterprise and Wayne Construction, that's a thing that I made up, or maybe it's even in the comic books, for one of the buildings to make it into a kind of government property where they just keep files.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly a secret base or anything, but rather a documentation facility. Since he only has about 10% of the metahuman list, he breaks into that building and steals the documents. The A to B is Batman. The A to B of the story is Batman fights metas. He searches for them, and at the end, he finds who he's looking for. The end credit scene is him going to the military base and trying to steal a piece of kryptonite. But in the gist of it, a group of aliens attack the facility and releases the monster that attacks Superman.
Wow.
From the Superman movie, where the codename Zod.
I like.
So he goes across the country, finds Superman because he can smell him, some shit like that. I don't fucking know. And then the palette cleanser, because these are all kind of dark based.
Yes.
I put the Flash Year One. That's kind of a rewritten story.
I like that. Yeah.
With a bit of a rewrite. The story is very similar to the comic. The Flash Year One. I wanted at least one of these to have a comic book accurate superhero.
Mm-hmm.
I only did a few tweaks, but even then I would still keep the original story. But for the sake of the video, I rewrote the 60% of the story. The Flash, Barry Allen, was in the attic with his mom. So this is the story. His mom noticed a black eye on him, and Barry says that the bullies were hurting a kid, and he didn't want to stand around, so he fought the bullies back. His mom hugs him. Cuts to later that night. A ruckus can be heard from Barry's bedroom. Coming from downstairs, he went downstairs and he found his father holding his mother unconscious. Cut to adult Barry doing some forensics on a substance, potentially from a metahuman. Since he couldn't identify the substance, he went to Star Labs since they have a whole catalog of found metahumans. While roaming around Star Labs, the scientists had been experimenting on an alien-like rocket thruster. The thruster was expelling smoke that had created a thunder-like storm outside the facility. The thruster had a malfunction and overheated in an attempt to stop it. The scientists had tried to cut the power line and was shocked by the energy expelling it. Outside, Barry was walking back. So this is the thunder strike. Outside, Barry Allen was walking back, and all of a sudden, bright yellow lightning had struck him. Barry Allen awoke from a coma 4 days later. He soon learned that he had super speed. Meanwhile, the scientist had super slow speed.
Oh.
You know who that is?
No.
I can't remember his name. I think his name is the Turtle.
I didn't know about that. Or maybe I did.
Hey, Google. The Flash Year 1 villain. I think it is the Turtle. Yeah, it doesn't say it. But yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, the Turtle. So yeah. The bad guy is the Turtle.
I like it.
And it basically continues from the comic book, sort of, where he meets his future self, goes back in time, tries to stop himself again, and do all this stuff.
Oh, the Flash is so cool.
The Flash is very cool. That's why I wanted him to be more upbeat.
Yeah.
And the end credit scene that I had in there, I think it was that scene that Batman did where he walked in on Barry Allen.
Yeah, that's good.
Except not that setting where it's like in the warehouse, but like
more to fit that. Yeah, because that is it's very Flash. I just wish the Flash wasn't Ezra Miller. Like I like him as the Flash, I do, but I just wish it wasn't him at the same time.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit that Barry Allen shit, does it? You know. Because like Barry Allen was more of a forensics genius than this goofy dude who probably plays Fortnite all day.
Oh, well. Hey, that was a long one, though. That was fun. I like that.
So, yeah. If you made it through this throughout this video / series, I hope you liked it.
Yeah. These were cool. It made me use my brain.
Me too. And we're both really tired and somewhat sick.
Yep.
So, we're just doing it for the video. If you steal any of these ideas, feel free to let us know.
Yeah. Or like, I want to see if people do something quick and short like I did. I want to see people like the MCU, DC, or just give me a quick mock-up of like a 20 set of movies of like, what would your DCU look like? Like, comment that down below.
Man, I care too much about these characters to just like put a story together.
I really like what you did. I'm jealous of it, and even like it works well. And like mine, just wanted to see them all.
Yeah. And I like yours. I like the new gods because like I don't think we're ever gonna see that ever.
No,
and
I don't either.
I think that's a very imaginative way to do it.
Because we were gonna get a movie at some point. I'm pretty sure it's canceled now, but so I was like, no, I'm gonna start with that because we're never gonna get it. So. But yeah, hey, that's our DC Rewrite Continuity Crew podcast special, whatever. I mean, it was we were aiming for like Suicide Squad, but we're a little late, but here it is. But anyways, though, thank y'all for watching. We've been the Continuity Crew. I'm Will. That's when. Thank y'all for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe. We love movies. We love y'all. And we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Next one probably gonna be, we don't know.